Madam President, congratulations on a successful end to this strike. We applaud you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, I see flowers on the counter behind you. Who sent you the flowers? Who are they from? Many sets, many sets.
Yes, many different people. We signed a lot of IA interim agreements for a lot of different agents and independent studios and things, and so some of them were sent by them.
Right, there's a tremendous relief across the industry and across all people who watch, the great content that comes from this town. What was the great movement in the end that resolved this?
Well, it was moving all the way through. I mean, we had reached a threshold where we crossed the $1 billion mark and ended at $1,011,000,000, which is quite historic in terms of the size of the contract in this industry. But then
Meaning there will be
the
increases in everybody's, paychecks collectively that are $1 billion more, right?
Well, you'll have to take that up with your employer, but you're not covered under
7%
this contract,
increases.
my darling.
But the writers and the directors got a 5% minimum increase, and the actors got a 7% minimum increase, right?
And our
Meaning scale
background
pay
people
goes up.
and our background people got 11% increase.
Oh.
And that is, and then each year, over the course of the 3-year contract, it goes up and ends at a 3.5% bump on top of the 7. So when it all adds up, it's quite significant. It wasn't, we wanted as the performers what the background people got. We didn't get that, but we were very happy that our lowest earning members got the most for their minimum salary. And that was really a wonderful celebration. They said that they've never felt so represented, so fought for, so recognized in a contract. So they ended up with a very good deal. And new inroads were carved everywhere. And that's what this moment was really about. It was essential that artificial intelligence be barricaded with a lot of protections for the members. And, it was very important that we found a new stream of revenue to try and level the playing field when it comes to compensation for the members that work the streaming channels. We raised the minimums. There'll be a lot more contributions now put into health and pension. And the list really goes on and on. Performance capture was never in the contract before, and now it's a recognized field. And so I think that we have a lot to be proud of. We're already thinking about what we're going to be working on for the next contract, because in a negotiation, you don't get everything. But there was so much meat on the bone that we did get. It is such a triumph, such an extraordinary contract with so much in it that makes it meaningful for the lives of all of our members. And really, I think for generations to come. That was also important, because I think that this is a historic time, and we needed a seminal negotiation to match it. And I'm just grateful that, we spoke out. We ignited a workers' movement around the world. It rang like a bell and landed in the ears of the AMPTP. They heard us and they met the moment.
That's amazing. Fran, the great new component is AI. This is the first time the union has had to deal with that. It seemed that the union was saying, look, you cannot use likeness and image of somebody, willy-nilly. Did it work out that way, or did we negotiate a deal where, okay, if you do, you got to pay this?
No, they have to give consent now up and down the ladder. They never had anything like that in the contract before. It was really anybody's game, and there were no restrictions
So now there's
whatsoever.
consent, and with that comes compensation. So obviously, if someone consents, yeah, you can use my image, well, you got to pay me, right?
Yes, yes. Well, you have to get permission first and foremost. But yes, everything that we wanted, we got. And the last piece didn't come in until, really 5 minutes before the 12th hour. But we got it. And they understood that in the 11th hour, there were a couple of points that were going to be deal breakers. And it was going to be a protracted strike if we didn't get it. So, the last best final was accepted when this, that, and the other was resolved.
Right. So last best final meant we still got about a
The,
yard or two left, and we took that yard or two, is what you're saying,
right. Or we were going to walk away.
which would have been hard.
And
Fran,
they heard us, which is
uh,
most important.
120 days or so ago, I was standing at the foot of the door when the bus opened and you got off and over by Warner Brothers. You were very
Remember
emotional.
that.
You gave an impassioned speech. There was so much emotion. You were angry. How do you feel now, 120 days later?
Well, very tired and very relieved and very proud. And I feel like the negotiating committee did their job. They did it well, and they sacrificed much on behalf of the member body. And the member body can be proud of them for doing one hell of a job. And the likes of which have never been done. This is 3 times bigger a contract than the last contract. There's never been even a jump from one contract to the next like that. And, we've gotten some things that were very important with casting, auditions, and interviews on self tape has been a bone of contention. That also kind of is another digital issue that had to be dealt with. And we dealt with it. Is it done? No. But the new language and the level of understanding where the future is and how much needs to be attended to was heard and addressed. And we're already rolling up our sleeves to figure out what the next proposal is going to be in the next contract, because it's a very fluid, ongoing thing. But this was the groundbreaking and historic contract that needed to be forged in order to build upon it for the future.
Fran, you and I remember a political climate in this country where the debate was passionate, but the discourse was civil between Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan, or whatever two sides. If you were to run into David Zaslav of Warner or Bob Iger of Disney, Donna Langley, whoever it is, one of the big studio bosses, Ted Sarandos from Netflix, what would be the tenor of that meeting? How would that greeting and that conversation go?
Well, first of all, I'd give them a hug and I'd say
We
thank
all need
you.
one.
Exactly. And I'd say thank you. In spite of all of the likely and anticipated, let's discredit the woman leader. But that never really happened in the room. And I think that we were always very civil. Sometimes they get a little like, ready to bolt. And I would calm them down and say, this is not the time. I get you're kings and you do things a certain way, but here and now, time and patience is the secret sauce. And so,
And one queen,
then
isn't it Donna Langley from NBC Universal? There's one queen in there on the opposite side. Have you heard from her or any of the kings? The three
Donna,
kings.
yeah, right, right. Well, actually, in my head, when I said that, that was when all of the CEOs from the AMPTP were on one Zoom. And but Donna's a lovely person. And there was even a point where I made a point of saying I wanted to hear what she had to say, because she attempted to interrupt a couple of times, and the guys were being guys and weren't even hearing her try to interject. And I said, "You're not letting her talk, and I'd like to hear what she has to say." And so, I understand the way negotiations work, and I understand that we were sitting on opposite sides of a table. And I also live with the wisdom of Frederick Douglass, who said, "Power concedes nothing without demand. It never has, and
Right.
it never will." And so my job was to make sure that they understood what needed to happen in this negotiation if we were all going to go back to work. And they heard me, and that's the most important thing.
Of the big studio bosses on the other side, was there one who stepped up and led and came to saw things your way more than any others? One who brought resolution quicker?
I don't really think so. They often let Bob be the one that spoke on behalf of everyone. But each one had things to say. Sometimes they'd get frustrated with us. Sometimes we'd laugh about something,
Oh, good.
and that had nothing to do with the negotiation.
Nobody
They
laughed like
all
you, though. Your laugh is the best laugh on that Zoom.
And thank God I figured out a way to monetize it.
Better monetize it now, too, right? Your residuals are going up on the nanny.
Well, now, I couldn't even post anything about the nanny, and our 30th anniversary came and went, and that was sad for me. So I guess, as in the show, Miss Fine will always remain 29.
Yes, yes, yes. Check your phone real quickly. I want to see if any of those studio bosses have texted you a congratulations and any kind of sweet hug emoji.
Well, I spoke to a lot of my A-listers. I connected with
Drop a name or
Governor
two.
Newsom.
Let's drop a name or two. This is Hollywood. Come on.
George Clooney said, "I would have bet my house and lost that you couldn't get the deal that you got, that you would
Wow.
have gone past $1 billion." And, that just made me so happy. Tyler Perry called me and said, "I'm so, so proud of you. It's you. You did this." Because I thanked him. He said, "Don't thank me. It's all you." And,
Keep dropping. You're whetting my appetite. Drop some more. Meryl Streep. What do we got? Hanks? Who's in there?
Ben and Jen were very supportive. And Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah.
Laura Dern, Emma Stone, Kerry Washington was so wonderful and brilliant and smart to talk to.
Wow.
Bradley Cooper.
Oh,
Um,
Cooper's everywhere. He's the greatest. He's saving Brooke Shields' life in an ambulance. He's running a race. He's helping everybody get sober. He's texting you congratulations. This guy's like, I'm loving Cooper these days.
He's great. And, he said to me that many, many years ago, when I was still on the nanny and he was working at a hotel or a restaurant or something, I think it was a hotel, and he maybe brought my bags up to my room with me. And we talked the whole way up, and he said, "I never, ever forgot how kind you were, how much you made me feel seen, and how you talked to me like I was an equal. And I will never forget that, and I'm just glad that I have the opportunity to thank you now.
And boy, does he ever. Do you recall giving him a good tip? I hope you did. Bradley,
I
you just gave
don't
them
know.
all a good tip
That
now. You just all
I
got
think
better than a tip.
whatever I gave him, it was my kindness that
Yeah.
was enduring.
Fran, what a relief that this is over. Summer movies will be back, and we'll finish the current television season. All those
Yes,
flowers
and all
behind
the
you.
award seasons will prevail.
The award seasons. I will return to
And
the red carpet to do my thing.
The state of California, which felt, I think, the financial crush of the strike more significantly, maybe than some of the other states
Yeah.
who don't have such a big industry there. They'll get back on their feet. I spoke to the mayor of Los Angeles, Mayor Bass, and I spoke to Governor Newsom, and everybody is very, very relieved. I've been in touch with people from the president's office, President Biden. We were watching all the time what was happening with the other strikes, and
President Biden got involved. You had a conversation with Biden.
I did not have a direct conversation with him, but the first lady did record something for us, which was very special. And I was talking to people from his cabinet through the whole thing. But I didn't need to hear from him. He's got bigger fish to fry with the two wars at large.
Well, no pain, no gain, as they say. There was pain, but there was gain, and you've got lots to be proud of. Fran, thank you so much. I appreciate you spending time with me. All those flowers in your kitchen are well deserved.
Thank you, Billy. It's always a fun to talk to you and a joy. Be well.